Donald Trump basically admitted to the fact that, maybe I'm going to be a dictator.
Field right
People are
now.
saying that we
And
need a dictator. A lot of people are saying we need a dictator. I don't know how much more obvious we can make it, man. Donald Trump will say some shit, and then when that shit happens, people are like, "Oh my god, how could we have seen this?" It's that famous tweet about King Von. I don't know if it's a tweet or if it was a YouTube comment I saw, but it was like King Von would rap about how I've killed 7 people, and the police would be like, "What did he mean by that?" Oh yes, it was a YouTube comment under Trap Lore Ross's video. King Von would talk about how he killed 7 people in a song, and the police are like, "What does he mean by that?" Donald Trump will say, "A lot of people are saying we'd like a dictator," and people will be like, "What does he mean by that? Is he talking cryptically?" No, asshole, he wants to be a dictator.
as you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge it. And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator, not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person. As you all know,
I'm a smart person. As you guys know, people who are very smart tell others just how smart they are. I don't know what more I can, like, what do I say, bro? He wants to be a dictator. The whole goal of Project 2025 is to make Donald Trump a fucking dictator. It is to make the executive branch of the government all powerful. It is to make sure that every avenue of government is rendered useless. And it starts with all of the presidential act or all of the executive actions that he's undertaken so far. His blatant disregard for the due process, his blatant disregard for the separation of powers, his blatant disregard for the First Amendment when it comes to imprisoning protesters. Like these are all dictatorial tendencies. A normal president, and when I say normal, I mean a president who actually cared about abiding by due process, could be as fucking far right as you want. But the minute that he was confronted with an injunction or that a federal court slapped down his executive order, he would do one of two things. He would back off of it or he would appeal it. Donald Trump doesn't do any of that. He just goes about his business. Like, that's dictatorial, brother. People like dictators when they bring tangible benefit to the population. I don't condone dictatorship, okay? I prefer democracy. However, if there is a dictator who raises literacy rates, for example, if Donald Trump were a dictator who gave us universal free healthcare, I don't think he would have such a he wouldn't have such a disgusting approval rating. But dictators of the left don't need to arise out of the consolidation of power, because a dictator of the left would go the way of FDR and just fucking smoke the opposition in every election. If FDR didn't die, he would have been president for as fucking long as the people wanted him to be. And also, it was after his remarkable success that Republicans, I'm pretty sure it was Republicans, brought legislation to codify the 2-term limit instead of it just being a precedent. You don't need to be a dictator if you have good policy. You will become a dictator by way of democracy so long as there are no term limits. You should be alarmed by this. The fact that we are even at this point is really frightening. The fact that the sitting president of the United States of America is jokingly talking about being a dictator is fucking scary. It also runs antithetical to all the bullshit that Republicans try to feed us, or that the establishment parties try to feed us, that the United States is a liberator. We bring democracy across the globe. We detest dictatorships. Of course, obviously, the United States props up like 3/4 of dictatorships all around the world. They have backed dictatorships in the past, and they have implemented dictatorships in the past. It's just bullshit. And if you believe it at this point, I don't know what to tell you, man. You may have to do a little bit of introspection. You may not be the defender of democracy that you might think that you are. But of course, the MAGA base is going to look at this and they're going to eat it up because they think that a Trump dictatorship would be good for them. They, in their heart of hearts, believe that if any man was put on this earth to be a dictator of the United States of America, it would be Donald Trump. But here's the reality of that. Dictator Trump would not make the cost of living any lower. He would not improve your quality of life. He's not going to repair the healthcare system. He's not going to raise wages. He's not going to make college free. He's not going to give you time off. He's not going to give you time off mandated by the federal government so that way you can see your fucking newborn baby or your nieces or your nephews. He's not going to do any of that. He's going to imprison your neighbor. He's going to prevent you from saying whatever you like without repercussion from the government. You're going to get sent to Alcatraz for criticizing Israel. All of the things that he's doing that MAGA rallies behind. They rally behind because they think that he will never come for them. They believe that the fascist regime will allow them to go unscathed, when the reality is quite the opposite. The minute that you, as a supporter of the fascist regime, refuse to support the fascist regime, you become an enemy. And guess what? You are going to go the way of the undocumented immigrant. You are going to go the way of the socialist. You are going to be sent to prison. You're going to be sent to a slave labor camp. There's just no dictatorship that is ever good. I don't understand. I just oh my God, bro. I don't understand how people can hear these words and say, yo, bro, spitting. He might be onto something. Look at the fucking dictatorships all around the world. Imagine if Xi Jinping said some shit like this. The right-wing media would fucking nut all over the place with the opportunity to bash the Chinese Communist Party. And now Donald Trump is literally on his way to becoming a dictator. But we don't have high-speed rail. We don't have mega cities being built. We don't have anything. We don't have anything. And I know Xi Jinping isn't technically a dictator, but it is a communist regime. Or it's not even a communist regime. What the fuck am I saying? It is an authoritarian regime. But my point is that the United States currently are all of the bad things that the media says about China. And yet the media is nowhere to be found.